Well, hello everyone. After about a year of woodworking or attempting woodwork or trying to learn woodworking, I realized it's about time that I try to make a box. I have never made a box of any type, not a storage box, not a bandsaw box, just not a box yet. And boxes are pretty important in woodworking. So I figured I would try to make a heart-shaped box. And after looking at the videos that are out there on YouTube, I figured they were all either above my skill level right now, or I didn't have the tools or the materials to make them. So I figured I would try to make my own version. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, I completely understand. And here we go.
To start off this project, I first printed out some heart shapes, one at 5 inches across and one at 4 inches, and I just cut those out and glued them onto a piece of 1/4 inch plywood to make my templates that I would use for the shape of the box. I went with 2 layers of walnut and 1 layer of maple with the maple sandwich between the walnut. I'm cutting the maple out first because, as you will see, it is important because it'll later become the routing guide for the bottom walnut layer. And we will speed this up a good bit because I don't think any of y'all really care to watch 5 minutes of me clumsily working the bandsaw. Our next task was to trace out the 4-inch heart on the inside of this 5-inch maple heart and find the center line of it, and then cut that out on the bandsaw, leaving just the basic heart template that we can put back together. And once again, I will greatly speed this up for your viewing pleasure. While we watch me perform some manual labor here and just clean up the edges and the inside curves a little bit with some sandpaper, I would like to point out that later on I kind of regretted using the middle layer of maple. I wish I just went walnut all the way through. I think it would have looked better in the end, and also it was just a little harder to work with the different hardnesses of the 2 woods. But it didn't turn out bad in the end, but I just kind of wish I'd went with walnut all the way through, this being my first box. Next, we're ready to get our bottom cut out of the walnut, and in full disclosure ahead of time, I did make kind of a prototype of the box out of pine, and in that one I only used 1/4 inch plywood for the very bottom layer, so I didn't have to route it out. And so this one's different because I'm using the thicker walnut, and that is because the prototype, the actual cavity of the box wasn't quite deep enough, and you really couldn't store that much in it by the time it was closed. So we're going to try this out. So this was a completely new process here for me. Now we just glue those 2 pieces of the maple layer to the bottom walnut layer and let it sit overnight, and then we go and contemplate our life decisions. Now it's simply a matter of hogging out as much material as we can with our Forstner bits before we route it. And one thing I would like to point out here is I love Forstner bits. I don't know what it is about them, but there's just something about Forstner bits that I really enjoy working with. And it's one of those bits before I started woodworking I had never even heard of, and I'm glad I did. Now we just use the great invention that is double-sided tape and tape it down like we would to make any other router tray. And I am careful here on trying to figure out exactly how deep I want to route this, because I want to open up a certain amount of space in it. I of course don't want to blow out the bottom, but I also still want the box to have a certain weight to it, a heft to it. So I guess that's going to be a matter of personal preference. I went probably about halfway. I can't remember the exact measurements now, but we'll say about halfway through. Now for the fun part, and in full disclosure, it is written nowhere that I'm an expert in any tool, and the router is probably one that I'm one of the furthest away from being an expert, but it's fun and I'm trying to learn. And so here recently I've been trying to incorporate using the router as much as possible in all of my projects, and I'm slowly learning. One thing I do know is that I also need to get a palm router, and I think it would be a lot easier to learn a lot of things with it. But I'm coming along, and this is quite fun. But we will go ahead and speed this up also, but we don't want to miss too much of it because it is pretty fun to watch. This time I did take some time out to clean it up a little bit with the Dremel, and I'm not sure if it was really even necessary at this step, but it was more just giving me some time to think about my next steps with this project, and I spend a little more time contemplating those life decisions again. Now it was time to get started on the lid, and I went back and forth on how to do the lid, and I guess there's many different ways. Please let me know what you think is the easiest in the comments. This was the easiest way that I could come up with, and it's one that I felt most comfortable with, but I think it's also kind of the least refined, I guess you should say, but it worked in the end. I cut out a 4-inch heart from a real fancy piece of 1/4-inch plywood that I had laying around. It actually is a nice piece of plywood, if I do say so myself. And after checking and ensuring that it did not indeed fit my box, we took it over to my fancy sanding contraption, and we got it to shape and to fit for the most part within the bottom part of the box. I do need to get me a new sanding machine, and you can see here it's a little off. I had a breakdown and had to fix it later on. But I'd like to get me a spindle sander if they're worth it. Some people say spindle sanders aren't worth it. Some people say they do. I don't know because I've never owned one, but I guess I'll find out sometime here in the future. I'm sure there was a much better and easier way to do this, but this was the best way I could come up with. If you know an easier, better way, please let me know in the comments. But I used the cutouts from the maple layer as a support for the backing made out of plywood. And then I just double-sided taped it to that and then glued it to the top layer. Again, this was the best way I could think of just to try to get everything aligned as close as possible. And it did work pretty well, but I still think there's got to be an easier way out there somewhere. After everything's glued up, we check our fit, and then we also remember that this particular brand of double-sided tape was a whole lot stronger than I remembered, and well, it had me worried there for a few minutes. I then did a little more Dremel work, and I probably could have saved the earlier Dremel work for this point, but again, it was time to reflect some, and I needed to make sure that that fit was exactly the way I wanted for the lid. And after doing this, and again doing my contemplation stuff again, it's starting to look a little bit like this might work as a box. And I'm starting to become a little proud of this project. Not too much, but just a little bit. Next, it was once again to demonstrate my expert or lack of router skills on the router table, and I simply put a round over on both the bottom of the box and the lid, and then I used a flush trim bit to trim the edges of the box, the top layer and the bottom layer, to basically a central point in the maple layer. And this seemed to work out pretty well. I'm not sure if it's a very orthodox technique, and it didn't completely make it flush because, it just wasn't completely lined up, but it did save me a lot of sanding later on. Back over to my very expensive sanding contraption, and here it was just a lot of sanding, trying to get those mistakes that I'd made previously with not cutting perfectly and not lining everything up perfectly, and basically just sanding those mistakes out. And it worked pretty good. We got the different layers to marry together very nicely, and I was overall pretty happy with this. I did some more manual labor and hand sanded the box up to about, I think it was 240 grit, just to get it prepped and ready for finishing and to get the final shape in and any little nicks and things that were in it out. Now, finishing is another one of those areas that I'm not quite an expert at and far from it. First I finished this, I put some mineral oil on it to bring out some of the color of that walnut, and then I used some of my shellac that I've made up, and I put a coat of shellac on it. Then I tried burnishing it with the old paper bag trick, sanding it down with some ultra fine sandpaper, putting another coat or two, or I think I even went to 3 or 4 coats of shellac. I still wasn't happy with that. I kind of sanded it down, and I think I ended up going with the urethane over it, which I know you're not supposed to do once you've oiled the wood, but it had already been, this was an ongoing process, sanding and refinishing and sanding and refinishing, and overall at the end I still wasn't really happy with the way my finish turned out, but it's a learning process, and I learned a lot through this, and hopefully I get better in the future. If you have any tips or tricks, please let me know, because this is an area that I am greatly lacking in.
All right, and here are the results. Overall, I think it turned out pretty well. There are some things that I would do differently, but it's got a nice big cavity in there. I'm not completely happy with the finish on it, but for a first attempt at a box, I think it's pretty nice. I don't have anybody to give this to, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Perhaps one day I will again. We'll see. But it'll hold some jewelry. It'll hold a little few pieces of candy or whatever you want to put in it. Overall, it's a nice box. I like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to, if you don't want to, I completely understand. And please don't forget to smile and stay safe wherever you are. Thank you and goodbye.